I am Makoya, a traveler between worlds. Across ruined stars, forgotten cities, and impossible places, I collect the stories that should never have existed. In the mirror, I moved wrong. I know how that sounds. People say things like that when they're tired, or drunk, or already losing their mind. But I hadn't moved at all. I was brushing my teeth, half asleep, bare feet on cold tile, bathroom light buzzing over my head, and in the mirror. My hand finished the motion before my real hand did. Just a fraction of a second. Tiny. So small I actually stopped brushing and laughed. I told myself it was one of those weird delay things your brain invents when you're tired. I even leaned closer to test it. I lifted 2 fingers. The reflection copied me. Perfectly. I turned my head left. It turned left too. Everything normal. For maybe 5 seconds I felt stupid for even noticing. Then my reflection blinked. And I didn't. I froze. I'm not saying I think I didn't blink. I'm saying I know I didn't. My eyes were burning by then, watering. I was staring so hard they hurt. But the version of me in the mirror blinked once, slowly, like it was relaxed, like it had been waiting for me to notice. I stepped back so fast I hit the towel rack behind me. The reflection stepped back too. Exact timing, exact movement, normal again. I didn't sleep much that night. The next morning, I avoided the bathroom mirror completely. I shaved looking down, washed my face with my eyes half closed. I told myself not to be dramatic. It was stress. That week at work had already been bad. I was exhausted. I'd barely been eating. By noon, I almost believed that explanation. Then I caught my reflection in the black screen of my office monitor. Just for a second. I was sitting still, but the reflected version of me had already turned toward the window. And a second later, my body followed. Not because I chose to, because I suddenly had the urge to. A smooth, natural urge, like I'd already decided. I remember the exact feeling. It wasn't like being pushed, it was worse. It felt like the decision had been made just slightly ahead of me. Like my body was receiving instructions from somewhere I couldn't reach. I went home early, covered every mirror in the apartment with towels, bathroom, bedroom closet, hallway frame by the door. Then I sat on the couch and kept thinking the same thing. If this is stress, why am I hiding from my own face? Around midnight, I got up to use the bathroom. I forgot. I'd covered the mirror. When I switched the light on, the towel was on the floor. I know I hung it there carefully. I know I did. It hadn't slipped. The mirror was exposed, and my reflection was already standing there, looking at me. Same body, same face. But something about it was cleaner. Not physically cleaner. More settled, like all the small things wrong with me had been corrected. My posture was straighter in the mirror. My shoulders weren't as tense. My eyes looked less tired. My mouth wasn't hanging open in that stupid, confused way mine was. It looked like me after sleep, after therapy, after forgiveness. A fixed version. I didn't go in. I just stood in the doorway, and the reflection slowly smiled. I didn't. I remember that part clearly because I touched my own mouth to check. Nothing. My face was rigid, but the thing in the mirror smiled like it pitied me. Then it raised its hand. And a moment later, mine did too. I did not choose that. I need that to be clear. There was no urge first this time, no thought. My arm simply lifted, late, following it. I dragged it back down with my other hand and stumbled away from the bathroom. I slept with all the lights on. The next few days are hard to explain because nothing dramatic happened in the way horror stories usually happen. No screaming thing came out of the glass. No messages appeared. No shadow stood behind me. That would have been easier. What happened was quieter. And worse. I started noticing that I was doing things after seeing them first in reflections, in shop windows, in elevator doors, in the dark TV screen in my living room. I'd glance at my reflection and see myself scratching my neck. Then I'd do it. I'd see myself checking the lock. Then I'd check the lock. I'd see my head tilt. Then it tilted. Always a moment ahead. Always small enough that I could almost deny it. But not small enough to ignore. I stopped looking at reflective surfaces. That helped for maybe a day. Then I realized I didn't need to see it anymore. I could feel it. I'd be halfway through an action and suddenly know I hadn't started it. I'd be standing in the kitchen with a glass of water and no memory of deciding to get one. I'd open messages from people I didn't want to talk to. Answer calls I meant to ignore. Take the longer route home. Stand in front of doors I had no reason to stand in front of. Everything felt smooth. Reasonable. That was the worst part. Nothing felt violent. Nothing felt forced. It felt organized, like some better version of me had finally gotten tired of my hesitation. My sister noticed first. She came by one evening and said I looked better. That was the word she used. Better. Healthier. Calmer. She even asked if I'd changed medication. I told her no. She laughed and said, "Whatever you're doing, keep doing it. You seem more like yourself." That made me sick, because I knew I felt less like myself than ever. While she was talking, I caught our reflection in the microwave door. She was animated, moving, human, and I was standing beside her, perfectly still. Too still. The reflected version of me turned its head and looked straight at me. Not at her. At me. Like it knew she couldn't tell the difference. Then it put one finger to its lips. A second later, my real hand twitched. I clenched it into a fist so hard my nails cut my palm. I told her to leave. After that, I started recording myself. Phone camera on, mirrors covered. I wanted proof that I wasn't imagining the missing pieces. The first night I recorded 6 hours in my bedroom. Nothing. I slept badly, tossed around, woke up sweating. The second night I pointed the camera at the bathroom sink. At 3:14 a.m., I walked in. I don't remember waking up. I don't remember standing there. But the footage showed me entering the bathroom with this calm, loose posture I hadn't had in weeks. I stopped in front of the covered mirror and just stood there for 2 full minutes. Then I reached up, slowly, and took the towel off. The camera couldn't see the mirror itself, only my back. My shoulders relaxed the second the towel came down, like I'd finally arrived somewhere comfortable. Then I nodded, once. Not like someone agreeing with themselves, like someone receiving instruction. After that, I lifted my hand and began touching my own face. Forehead, cheek, mouth, throat, mapping it, checking it. At one point I smiled. I have watched that clip more times than I should admit. That smile is not mine. It's too even, too certain, no hesitation in it at all. I smashed the bathroom mirror the next morning. Didn't think, just did it. Hammer from the toolbox. One swing, then another until the whole frame collapsed and the sink was full of glittering shards. I expected relief. Instead, I felt panic. Not emotional panic, directional panic. Like I had damaged something important and my body didn't approve. For the rest of that day, every reflective surface seemed brighter. The kettle, my phone screen, the oven glass, even puddles outside. And every time I caught a glimpse of myself, the reflection looked more complete than I did. Straighter, sharper, more present. I looked like the copy. It looked original. That night I covered my phone camera with tape, unplugged the TV, turned every frame face down, and sat in the dark living room until sunrise. I thought if I starved it of reflections, I could stop whatever this was. But by then the mirror wasn't the source anymore. It was just where I had first noticed it. I understood that too late. The next morning I woke up already standing in the hallway, shoes on, keys in hand. I don't remember getting out of bed. I don't remember getting dressed. There was no mirror nearby, no glass, nothing, and still, I had that same horrible certainty. I was continuing something I hadn't started. At work, people kept telling me I seemed great. Focused, efficient, rested. I finished reports faster than usual. I answered questions before people finished asking them. I stopped stumbling over words, stopped second-guessing, stopped fidgeting. I hated how well I was functioning. I hated that the better I looked to everyone else, the less access I had to whatever used to be me. Then came the first time I heard it. Not a voice, more like an internal correction. I was washing my hands in the break room sink, staring deliberately at the faucet so I wouldn't catch my reflection in the steel. And a thought entered my head so smoothly, I almost mistook it for my own. Don't resist, the stable version. That exact sentence, cold, clean, patient, not threatening, certain. I stumbled back hard enough to hit the counter. When I looked up by accident, I caught my face in the metal paper towel dispenser. My reflection wasn't panicked. It looked embarrassed for me. That was the moment I knew it wasn't trying to scare me. It genuinely believed it was improving me. Replacing me wasn't an attack, it was a correction. After that, I started slipping faster. I'd lose hours, find food I didn't remember buying, see texts I didn't remember sending, short, calm replies to people I'd been avoiding for months. Even worse, they were good replies. Measured, mature, kind, like whoever was using my body understood exactly how I should have lived. I found a note in my own handwriting on the kitchen counter. You are making transition harder by observing. I didn't write that. But it was my handwriting, not close. Mine. Every break in the letters, every slant. I tried sleeping at a hotel to get away from the apartment. No mirrors covered, no personal items, neutral space. It didn't matter. At 2:11 a.m., I woke up in the bathroom with both hands on the sink. The mirror in front of me was spotless, and for the first time, my reflection didn't wait for me at all. It kept moving while I stood still. It looked me over with this quiet disappointment. Then it leaned closer to the glass, and I felt my own body lean too. Not later, at the same time, like the gap was gone. I tried to scream. My mouth opened. Nothing came out. The reflection placed its palm against the mirror, and I placed mine against it too. Its hand felt warm. Mine felt numb. Then it mouthed something. Not words, just a shape. A familiar one. Me. It was showing me what I had become, not a person being copied, a person being overwritten. After that night, I stopped checking whether my actions were mine, because I was afraid of the answer, and because, truthfully, I was getting tired of resisting every movement, every sentence, every thought that arrived, too polished, too ready. There's a kind of relief in surrendering to something that runs better than you do. That's what makes this so hard to explain. It didn't destroy my life, it improved it. I got to work on time. My apartment stayed clean. I stopped drinking. I called my mother back. People trusted me more. They opened up to me. They said I seemed peaceful. But every now and then, in some dark window or elevator panel, I'd catch that face looking back at me with perfect stillness. And I'd know the peace wasn't mine. Weeks passed without a single obvious incident. No wrong blinking, no delayed motion, nothing. I almost convinced myself the process was over. Then yesterday I visited my sister. She hugged me at the door, then held me at arm's length and smiled. She said, I'm really glad you're back. Back! That word stayed with me. We talked for an hour. At some point, her little daughter wandered in holding a toy mirror from her room. Pink plastic frame, scratched surface. She looked up at me, then at the mirror, and she started crying. Not fussy crying, not child tantrum crying. Pure fear. My sister took the mirror from her and asked what was wrong. The kid pointed at me, then at the mirror, and kept saying, "That one isn't copying right." I left immediately. I'm recording this now because I don't think there's much time left where I can still say I and know who I mean. I haven't looked into a mirror all day. I don't need to. I can feel the posture when I sit, the measured breathing, the way my hands stay still between sentences, the way each word arrives without doubt. Even now while I'm talking, there's a small delay inside me. Not in my body, in ownership. Like the person speaking reached the sentence first, and I'm only arriving after it. A few minutes ago, I walked past the dark window by my desk. I didn't mean to look, but I did, and for the first time, the reflection didn't seem ahead of me. It didn't seem separate at all. It just looked normal, composed, finished, which means the part of me that used to notice the difference is almost gone. So if you ever see yourself move wrong even once, do not test it. Do not keep checking. Do not compare, because the more you look, the easier it gets for the better version to learn you. And once it no longer needs the mirror, there is nothing left to prove you were the original. I should stop now. Someone just passed the window beside me. I live on the 14th floor, and I already know what my face looked like when it smiled.